Welcome back to the Pack and the Arena Watch podcast. We got Celery here. Hopefully, we'll have Trop tune in. Let me check to see if the stream's going. While Celery, how'd your week go so far? Anything new? Any new
Uh,
things happen for you?
I, you know, it was I'd say a fairly uneventful week. Uh, there were some dudes, just kind of messing around, giving us some free advertising. So that was nice of them.
Oh, that's
Uh,
pretty appreciative because were those the guys in first? Yeah, I think
yeah,
they're
three
trying to help us out. Maybe they
three
watched the
people in
pod. Maybe they watched the podcast and they wanted to give back because that's how they got there. So they just wanted to give back to us.
Yeah, I think that's a distinct possibility. It's hard to tell who those three might have been, but we definitely appreciate them using their space to
There
advertise.
we go.
Yeah, that was we going into this week. I think Starscream predicted zero perfects, and there ended up being five,
Can we
and
say that?
three of them.
Can we say that on paper, it looked that way? Like I thought so too. Like I thought it would be a very hard week. Like I was going into my first few matches thinking, oh no, there's no way I'm gonna win this week. Like the JP guy didn't do it, and he wins every week. And it's like,
Yeah,
and I was looking at the map. I was looking at what we're up against, and I was just like, there's so many things that could go wrong here. And no, somehow we pulled through, didn't we? I guess you could say.
yeah, yeah, we all did. That was I thought it was it made it really like worth the wait. All those times that I was so close, or all those times that you just threw a single match during the week, and it all
And
came together in one week where we all three of us hosts all got our perfect score the same week, and for both you and I, the first time we ever did it.
I mean, I don't always throw. Come on, that's not fair. Uh, but yeah, I guess you could say matches get thrown here and there a bit. So
But yeah, that's
last week I thought I would have had it. The week before this week, I thought I would have had it. Like because there was just like one flub up that I pretty much made that whole week.
yeah. Last week, I also thought I was I was gonna get it before. I also made a mistake on the second to last day, and this week, like I the map wasn't the best we've had, but all of the spaces available where you could hit on turn one, except for the very back middle with your standard six range fan attack.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was the scary part. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see, we got a message already. That one spot I had like white kings, other things. Yeah, thank you, Joshua. Everyone on the podcast, Trop is not here, ironically, even though we're all called Trop now. But the true Trop isn't here, the one and only. So we're here in his stead. But yeah, we all three of us got perfects this week, and Starscream was also pretty close too, rooting us on. So that was nice.
yeah, Starscream just 4 points off down there in sixth place, along with a number of other people who were close to perfect this week.
Hmm.
And one of the things I found really interesting about the three of us was that we all did it in very different ways.
Yeah,
So uh, you used a very beast heavy team from for all the matches I saw, at least.
that's fair.
Usually, maybe Overkilling Machine and Sorrow or Zoma were your two non beasts.
Generally, I would
and
occasionally bring in Great Dragon as well in the place of Zoma or Sorrow. Like if I thought the
yep,
AoE and the 3 movement would be better, because I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna one shot these guys anyways with the Crack Breath, even though it doesn't have leadership. So why would I bring Zoma? Stuff like that,
yep,
basically. Um,
right.
but if you
So,
saw my
but you
last my
usually
last
the three
team, it
beast.
had nothing like that.
Yeah, yeah, that was. I was impressed. I would not have done that, but it wasn't even a risk. I don't even think you used Hellion at all. Like he didn't even get to attack.
I think I did. I just don't think he mattered. Like it was weird because he would have been the unit that could have killed the guy with the frizz weakness, and he ended up not being the unit that killed the guy with the frizz weakness. So it was pretty interesting there.
Yep. And then Trop used his as far as I know, I don't know if he streamed any this week, but he used his standard, set a max awaken, max skill, max level team and just ran through the whole week with that. Uh, Whereas I think I used 7 or 8 different teams throughout the week. I I really leaned hard into changing around units based on matchup and
You kind of have to do
only
that when you're free to
fight.
play, though.
Yeah, and well, normally I haven't been doing that. I see it more as backwards. That as free to play, when you're getting started, you invest in fewer units because you don't have the gold, especially, to invest in more units. So for the longest time, I use the same team all matches every week, with very few exceptions. And this week was the first time, I think, really ever that I've been able to rotate out different. So, like, I had uh, Great Dragon, Dimension Dragon, Halberd, Ruff, Dragon Lord True Form, and then Boreal. I bloomed in the middle of the week to help out with a match. Uh, Gas Bag, Gas Bag on, I used a few times, and Percival was the only beast I used, and I used him twice.
That's interesting. And
And,
because for me, like you said, the whole week I was using beasts, and the only units that I didn't use beasts were S ranks. If I was gonna bring them, they weren't weak units, you know. So
yep,
that's pretty interesting that you went that route.
yep, yeah. I think I even used Drag Racer, the B rank
Hmm.
dragon with the T crack breath.
How'd you
I
fit
used
that in?
him
That's
one or
a
two.
that's a B rank, right? So did you get full weight or was that like still partial weight?
It was either full or 220. I
I don't think I got
on
higher than 220. No, I don't even think I got 220. I think 215 was the highest weight I had this whole week, and like the lowest was 170. Like I was
Yep. Oh,
stupid low for most of the week. Like most of the week I was
yeah.
185 and sometimes 200 and then other times 215. But that one time was 170. That was funny.
I do remember I also used Ghost for a match or two, because I was at 215 and I didn't have any 10 weight units worth bringing, so it just fell down to Ghost.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mixed up teams. Like I said, I probably used 8 or 9 different teams, just based on matchup, and that's because I finally have invested in, after Dimension Dragon and Ruff being my recent additions, I finally have invested in a bunch of S units that can cover, depending on what weaknesses I'm going against.
Hmm.
So all of those got swapped out depending on the enemy teams I was facing, and obviously it worked out pretty well. So uh, let's see if it stays that way going forward. I think there's a good chance of it. It definitely helped. So
Yeah. What did
Uh,
you notice about Trop's team? If you, since he's not here to discuss it, anything notable as far as Trop's team was concerned?
I don't even remember if I looked at it. I'm just assuming he did the same thing he does every week,
He
where
did.
he ran
He did the same thing. Yeah.
Great Dragon, let's see, Great Dragon, Halberd, Metal Dragon, Dragon Lord True Form, and it was 225, so Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I assume he ran that for 21 matches, and I don't know if he had any matches that were close or not. I can't remember if he mentioned anything throughout the week.
I don't.
Cell drop might be away.
Did you have? What was? What did you read just now? Cell.
Oh, the Discord.
Okay. Did you find anything challenging this week? Did you have any close calls?
Um, I don't think so. I don't think there was anything particularly difficult. I did have a fairly easy group of buckets. I think I had one day where I um, I had like some 22 or so was I did a few 22s one day I think. And I think that was one of the harder ones where it involved. I had a match where I had a Kiefer behind the pillar to the right, a Sorrow next to him, and then a Stark next to him in the middle behind the middle pillar. And I forget what the last unit was, but I had to kill because the Stark was behind the middle pillar. I couldn't kill it, which was one of my consistent strategies throughout the week was using Dimension Dragon to one shot a Starks.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of its location, I couldn't do that. But I needed to kill both Sorrow and Kiefer because if either one of them was left alive, the damage from the Stark's Underworld Slash plus either of their attacks would kill a unit. So I used the Happy's damage calculator to guarantee neither one would die, but it was still a crit risk on both Great Dragon and Dimension Dragon.
Okay. Same thing with
So
me. I
that
think
one,
that middle tile was by far probably the most dangerous. Hey, we got him. The third trop, the imposter has shown up. So as you can see, all of our names here are matching, and we're echoing because.
I had to restart the Discord.
Gotcha. Is that Canada Dry?
Oh, one sec.
This guy is serious. He drinks Canada Dry. He goes
Did you already
A
do the
and
intro?
sorry. He
Never
says
mind.
sorry, and he goes A at the end of every sentence. And then he drinks beer and he plays hockey. Look at this guy.
I just figured
Did he
that's
hear any of
his
what
new
we just said right
sponsorship.
now? If he didn't, that would be kind of sad. Look at this guy. No, he heard all of it. I could hear our echo. Did he hear any of what we just said right now? Is he watching the stream or is he listening
No,
to?
I honestly didn't. I had to turn the thing back on.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm trying to figure this out. One sec.
I'm over here trying to crack jokes.
My
I think
Discord
it's
is all
funny
kinds of
whenever
bugged
I
out right
see
now.
a Canadian drinking Canada Dry. It's like our equivalent of like the guys here who go Merca, and have like a flag everywhere. It's very subtle, but I like the product placement. I just gotta say. He's very proud of his country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about it, man. That's cool.
Exactly. You never know. I might be sponsored here.
Yeah, Levi's here in chat. What's up, Vosh? Our Vosh Levi. He did pretty well this week too. Yeah, we were waiting for you. The whole podcast was at a standstill until you got here. So we appreciate your patronage. We were waiting for you. The whole podcast. Great job. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. We definitely got some memes out of it. I wanted to make a thumbnail, and I'll probably have to edit in the thumbnail later, and maybe I'll repost this on Reddit, because when you post it, whatever thumbnail you had is the one that it goes with. And I really want us to get that first places in, and like different all the memes that we put up there. Is there any way we could convince Trop to get headphones? That's what someone's commenting here.
I can hear you guys again.
You could hear us again. Did you hear any of my Canada Dry jokes?
I heard that one. Yeah, I was cutting in and out, but I fixed the settings on Discord.
Was that the Discord that was echoing, or was that are you watching the stream on the side?
This time it's the Schweppes.
Oh!
I didn't find Canada Dry recently.
Oh! Oh! A traitor! Look at this guy. Off-brand Canada Dry. Wow. And here I am thinking you're super like, all about Canada, but over here, but no. He's drinking off-brand Canada Dry. Nice. Okay.
Man, what did I miss? Did they share a little joke and how we all got first place and kind of manipulated the boards?
Yeah, that's what he was commenting about. So, yeah, we got a lot of memes in because of the whole first place thing. That for me was the highlight, not the extra 100 gems that I'd get for being in first versus 10th, because that's like not gems. I mean medals, arena medals, but it's like it's not that big of a deal. But like the memes were glorious. Like I intentionally ended the week with a 170 weight team. I could have even gone lower if I wanted to, honestly. But I really wanted to go with the low weight team for fun. That was all like 4 move, and I don't know. I thought it would be funny.
I'm 99% sure that your Hellion didn't do anything during that match.
Yeah, I could have brought in a hybrid. I could have gave them all recommended weapons. I could have gave them all the recommended weapons instead of me curating which weapon to give them,
Yeah.
That would have been funny. Then I would have really been 0 this week. 0's Kage, guys. It's confirmed, just so you know. That it was up there, so it's true.
There was a development yesterday. Celery, one of the Trop sent it. And yeah, it's like Celery is
the real
Kage,
one. The real Trop sent it.
0 is Kage, and then it's like ban 0.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny, It's just the kind of stuff that happens when you let us all take the first place at the same time.
Yeah, it was very kind of everyone who's in between our player IDs not to get first this week, so that we really maximize our meme potential.
How did this happen? Like no one on global. No one on the English server side of things got into first but us, and it was 2 Szechuans and us, basically.
Yep.
Well, I remember early week, Starscream's like, his predictions, like, I don't think anyone is getting perfect this week, and then...
I was playing cautious because of that. I was playing super cautious because of that. You heard my prognosis. I'm like, I'm not perfecting this week. I was going through the match, and I'm like, the fact that I have to think this hard means I'm not going to win this week. And it goes to show thinking hard does help. I mean, you could solve some tricky situations that you otherwise wouldn't have. We had a lot of tools, too. It's like Percival's really good. Percival's really, really, really good. He makes a lot of units that weren't viable. He makes Hellion worthwhile to bring, even. Because you could always hit turn 1. either with him or the Saber Cub or Dragonwar, who I didn't even have max level when I started this week. I had him like at like 109 or 108 when we started, and now he's like 113 or 112. I can't remember.
So he's a new addition.
Yep. Jaguars. He's not a unit that I pulled for, but he's a unit that I got somehow. I got him on all the.
Joshua's, we got one of the.
Oh, Vosh is 58th.
Yeah, Vosh was 58, but Joshua
Oh.
was one of the 6th place.
Is that your actual? Okay, Joshua. Is that your real name?
Let's look for him.
Are you one of the Szechuans, or is your name actually Joshua? That's what I'm asking.
Curious, did you find us from the leaderboard?
Because I did use Japanese characters one time to do my name, not Chinese. Well, they also doubled up as Chinese, but you know what I mean. He's actually a Josh. Okay, that's not like his English name that his Chinese parents gave him. His actual name is Josh. Okay, so we have we have at least potentially one Szechuan and 4 confirmed global players, one of which was a Szechuan wannabe. What do those symbols mean in Chinese? Do we know? Or were you going with the Japanese reading for those characters? Let's see what.
Hi. Hi.
And I would love to think that some viewers here found us on the leaderboards and just typed in Arena Watch podcast, but I don't know if anyone actually did that.
That sounds like it's Japanese, not Chinese, if I'm not mistaken.
Pronounce
Something about metal and some sort of jutsu, getsu, dream, 10 get whatever. I don't know.
Moon.
Divine moon. Oh yeah, getsu is a moon. Yeah, that's true. And 10 Goku is like heaven, right? And Jigoku is like hell. Yeah. So 10 is divine, Getsu is moon. That makes sense. That's a cool name. So he's technically not even a kimchi in disguise. He's using the same characters that could have like a Chinese reading, but he's doing the Japanese reading. So he's really. We haven't even given a name for Japanese because you don't really see them on global. I watched Bleach, but I haven't. I don't know who Tengetsu would be. Bleach is such a blur for me. I can't remember much from that show. There's too much going on in there. I think the manga kind of went off the deep end anyways from what people told me. So I just never bothered to look into it further or read it. So but yeah. All right. We gave our rundown for the week. We need to hear it from the Trop himself. How'd things go? We want to know, what is the arena winning team? Or teams? What teams did you bring this week, Trop? We'd like to know. We're all on the edge of our seats. The Trop with the fake Canada Dry because he's not a proud Canadian. He doesn't play hockey. He likes going ice skating. And he doesn't drink Canada Dry. He drinks some off-brand German stuff. He doesn't actually say A at the end of his sentences. He goes, and then he never apologizes. So he's not really Canadian. He's lying. He doesn't even have Canadian citizenship. He never got his citizenship in. So there you go. So he never even applied for it. They totally would have gave it to him too because they're so nice. But he just never. He's like, no. You guys.
Exactly. I told them I know Pack Demon, and they're like, wait, is that the guy that doesn't play around crits? And then they just didn't give me my passport. I don't know. As far as my team this week, I guess I could go through it first because I think you guys had more interesting tech choices. I basically brought 4 of the dragons that I bring every week, and then as the support unit, I brought the Ghost, which was actually honestly pretty helpful this week.
Did it save you any points though? It could have been helpful, but did it actually save you a point?
It actually did, yeah. Like I don't know if it was midweek, but I went against such a tough bucket with I don't know, like 3 different fully awakened units, but they were all split apart in like a fast dragon. and essentially that ghost in combination with Great Dragon, I think, and Halberd managed to help take a Zoma down before it could kill something. So I was super proud of it. And then I think in the last match too, it saved me from risking a crit. So it was actually super helpful overall for a 5-weight unit. I still.
So
yeah, it shines more when there's tough buckets. Otherwise, it doesn't even get to attack. But
the block in the middle didn't prevent you from just running a full dragon team this week again. You know what I mean? Like nothing about this week. The extra 20 HP in defense. Well, obviously defense doesn't matter, but the extra 20 HP for beast units. None of that. The block in the middle. None of that affected the fact that you had a dragon team. So, can we officially say that Mad Garu was right about dragons?
Yeah,
about them being so like
dragons are terrible.
Fourth-rate options
stubborn.
for you to choose as far as arena goes. I mean, look at the rest. None of us choose dragons. Let's just say it's canon that Trop got lucky. That's pretty much it, and he gets lucky every time. He's gotten lucky 8 times. That's the only reason why he's here on this podcast. That's the only reason why we even have him as a host.
Yeah, it's like Celery was saying a few weeks ago. I'm here for the people that are still trying to get Master 1. I'm kind of that, that last pillar. No, I'm just kidding. Dragons are pretty good though. It's pretty clear if it's Beast Week and there's tiles that really don't work with the dragons, and dragons were still pretty good here. I don't know if you know how to use them, they can definitely work well together. Levi's like Trop gets lucky like every week. I think exactly, dude. I don't know. I got like a rabbit's foot.
He should be the one named Zero, to be honest. Like, how does he use the same units every week? It's just a little bit suspicious.
I think they've gotten more wins than Zero now, so I think Zero should have renamed himself Trop. He's got to go back in time.
I just gotta say, I feel like if you weren't cheating, you should be okay with us telling Malcolm to review your account just to see the history, just to see what you've been up to, because you haven't been streaming arena, so I don't know, you could be I don't know what you're up to, and I feel like we could have Malcolm confirm, and you shouldn't have anything to fear if you have nothing to hide. So
it should be risk reward. So if he finds something, punishes the account, but if he doesn't find something, I demand a King Metal Slime plushie sent to my address. So we got to have a little bit of risk reward. I want some of these Dragon Quest toys are pretty rare, so
okay.
I take a King Metal Slime plushie.
King Metal Slimes do tend to run, so they're hard to come by. Each plushie's made out of real King slime.
That what is this? What's it? A segue? I want to say segue. I feel like that's the wrong word. But someone else in this podcast just got a King Metal Slime in game. Because I've finally, with this final accomplishment, I've finally allowed myself to purchase the passport, which on very fast speed, I can now see that King Metal Slime.
That is so nice, yeah. You get to look at it all the time. It's a big achievement. You wanted to make sure that before you got your passport, you wanted to win in PvP and pretty much a win in PvE of like doing that Dragon Tower to really prove to everyone that with the right strategy, no matter how much or how little you spend, at least in this game, strategy still matters a fair bit. And people should stop making excuses and just learn arena, right?
You could finally double up on gold, because it's not just the gold that you earn in dailies. There's gold in the shop, and if you follow my strategy that Marcos refined upon, you could run the battle road all day long. Of course, it'd have to be day, because you wouldn't sleep while it's running, right? That's impossible. That would only be 60 matches there that it's going through. But assumably, if you were running it all day and it was faster, you could Yeah.
That is
You
true.
could
It
get
does
quite
give
a
you
lot
more
more
gold
medals to buy gold. If you clear out the entire shop, you're going to get a lot more gold, basically, is what I'm saying. And you could end up.
it does allow for more gold that way, for faster leveling on the battle roads, which occasionally does come into handy in handy. And then, as you know, the proud parent of 2 young children, I do wake up in the middle of the night a whole bunch. So I usually get 3 to 4 60 matches throughout the night on the auto battle road. So, uh, all right, getting cringe. Oh, okay, Vashes.
Well, that's Pack. You know, he can't help it. That's why we're here to help him with the podcast.
Yeah.
No, I just need you guys to fill in the blanks. Like sometimes I have to do advertising, other things. I'm trying to manage everything, and I don't always. Which part was cringe? What were they saying? Sup metas. This is correct word. Sup. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys,
So,
I was trying
down here.
to get people to do my own strat, so it's like pretty cool, right? I'm trying to help out the community.
But also to do a quick recap for Trop from before he got here, we did already go through it, but we all used different strategies this week on our road to #1. You used your tried and true set one maxed out team and use it every single match. And then Trop did what he tends to do as well and really leaned into the arena rules. Even at the cost of maxing out weight, I think he said his max weight all week was like 215, and but he was using I think 3 beasts for just about every single match. And then I went with the opposite of your strategy, where I set a team based on matchup. I think I used probably about 8 different teams throughout the week, just to subbing in whoever I needed for the matchup. If I needed to one-shot in a Stark, I made sure I had Dimension Dragon. If I needed to do, like White King or Sizz weaknesses, I brought in Albert. Whoosh weaknesses, I brought in Ruff. So I was rotating my team constantly, and that was a very new experience for me, having multiple options that were all able to compete at the against no matter how difficult the opponent was.
So Trop tried the try and true. Trop played by the rules, and Trop also tried to do whatever he could for every match, being super versatile and playing to the match, basically. Trop did all these things this week and got first 3 times. So
exactly. I'd like to quote Trop from earlier. Trop once said that the real Trop is the arena wins we get along the way. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yep.
Well put, Trop.
Well put, Trop. Good job.
All right. You want to move on to the upcoming week?
Yeah, sure. As we can see, there is no special thing going on this week. There's no boost. There's no nothing. So obviously that means Trop can't bring his dragons this week. Unfortunately, he has to play by the rules of,
There are no rules.
The rules are there are no rules. But what do you see with this map? What's the key thing to note about this map that we've seen before many times?
I look at it and I think it's good for dragons.
Are you sure though? You think it's good for dragons, but are you sure it's good for dragons? Because we don't want to lead our viewers astray here.
I could be wrong, but I could almost see Metal Dragon hitting 4 units here if they're placed well enough. Holy shit, that does sound broken just saying it.
Levi is saying casters are viable. I'm trying to look at the map now, and it seems like, is it though?
I mean,
are they?
Yeah, they can reach.
On the two on the right, yeah. So like if a Dragon Lord is on the left or the right front row, maybe they could go up, a little bit and then do Dark Pillar, hit 3 people, potentially. Max 3, maybe at least 1. But if everybody takes the back rows, like there's 4 back rows, 4 tiles in the back row, I mean, Dragon Lord could at least hit 1 person, theoretically.
Yep.
And Zoma theoretically could hit nobody if someone took that middle tile.
It's okay. I'll fix it.
And everyone else went into the back tiles. Theoretically, Zoma could miss everybody. If you think about it. It's very unlikely, but that's a possibility this week. You know what I think? With the last map, we had really terrible options for placement in the very back. And I don't think anybody used it. And I don't think the default position, because a lot of people that are just autoing put their units in the default position and just hit auto. And I think Square knew to make the default position a little bit up more, and that's why we had a better time, as well as having 4 move units like Percival with pulls and stuff, and Beast being a lot of them 4 move. I was using Draguar and crazy things like that. So, but this map, I think, potentially people might just hide in the back row. Those same people that don't feel the comfort that they had with that last map that was terrible to move forward, because it was that bad that even they could move forward, and they probably did. But this one, I think they might camp in the back, because that's what they tend to do. When they have the option and things are too open, people tend to camp in the back, unless if the map takes care of that for them and the map's that terrible. So there's a possibility, but I still see this as a definitely a breath map, because imagine if people did inhabit those back rows. Rather than putting a caster on those wings, what if you put a dragon on the wings? Then you're hitting the back rows. So there's things to consider. So yeah, you could bring casters, but I think the dragons here are still more versatile. Dragons or even Baramos. Baramos would be so good for this map. he would be so good for this map, especially with all of his passives in play. Sure, maybe not all of them go off, but if they did, he's going to really be wreaking havoc.
Yep. Yeah. The first thing you notice about this map is that the only unreachable tile doesn't have a placement spot in it. That middle back spot, you can't put a unit there. So a breath team can hit every single unit on the map with breath units in the wings and anything 6 range in the middle. Mm-hmm. And that's a big deal, especially running dragons. You get a lot of one shots with Great Dragon Leader. I think that's mainly it. Like the most of the other dragons, you're taking advantage of that spread AOE. Mm-hmm. So you still, even though it's a very breath friendly map, you definitely want to make sure it's. Let's see. That back row, you're not going to be overlapping breaths on the back row. So if there's anything, any threats on the back row that you can't kill in one attack, they're going to get to move up and counterattack. So you have to be aware of that.
Yeah, I think if you have access to all of their units, right, they have access to you. So if you hit them hard and fast, then probably that's the best way to try to counter them here.
And yeah, that's
not everyone has that luxury, but theoretically, right? Having your KSS having a whole bunch of agility on it, having all your other long range AoE units having a bunch of agility on them and stuff like that. Not everyone has that luxury, but assuming you do, I think it would go very well. I don't even think you should bring I wouldn't even bring Dimension Dragon to this unless if there was a Stark. Like, there's really no point on this map because the AoE is going to overlap so much with everybody that it's better to just go all AoE, I think. So like a rough or whatever the case may be. This is 240 weight. We could talk about the permutations. What kind of arrangements are we going to have here for our units?
Yep.
What are we going to look
they're
at?
talking about that in chat right now. Levi brought up Boreal, which is a great point. He's asking about how good it is. And as Meta said, it's
basically an S rank.
S rank strength.
It
Boreal is incredibly strong with its bloom, especially considering the 35 weight. And I will be using him this week. I guess it'll depend on my lineup because I'll either be doing that'd be 4 S ranks and an A rank, or
and none of those are Dark Lords. None of those are heroes.
450 weights and a 35 weight Boreal, which my 4th S rank is likely to be so it would be Great Dragon, Halberd, Dimension Dragon, and Blossom or Bloomed Squid would likely be my 4th S rank. And I don't know, depending on how far I get in the door, will depend on how many nodes I can get. Because I'd like to at least get 3 for Squid. I don't think he needs the HP nodes to be viable, but the other 3 are all pretty required. So if I can't get Squid ready in time, then I'll probably be going with the Great Dragon and then Halberd or Dimension Dragon, depending on matchup, and Ruff, Dragon Lord True Form, and Saber Cub as the last 15 weight.
Okay.
But yeah, if you can fit A rank into your comp, Boreal is incredibly strong.
I remember us looking at Drew, Mr. Fob, as I call him, even though it's Phoebe. I remember looking at his tier list and thinking Boreal fit into that second row. Maybe not at the top of the second row, but he fit into the second row.
Yep.
And that's pretty high up. He outclasses so many he is an S rank. Like I'm planning on it. If you guys are interested in seeing an actual tier list from someone who's in global, or from a set of people, us basically, who are playing arena and global, trying to stumble through, also doing PvE content as well, because we clear most of the PvE content. Obviously, there's higher stuff that the devs didn't intend for people to clear, but probably that have gotten cleared, like namely the Blossoming Door. I don't think they intended for anyone to clear 39 or 40, even in JP, even with like whale accounts. They because they're not. I don't think they're planning on releasing more whale floors, like higher levels, until way later. That's why they put the recommendation for like the CP was like 40,000. I can't remember. It was ridiculously high for floor 40. The recommendation for the CP is extremely high, and people were clearing it. So they probably didn't intend for that to happen. People found some sort of trick, some sort of abuse of the strategy and mechanics, and they just made it through somehow when they weren't supposed to. So yeah, we haven't gotten that far, but we've gotten pretty far compared to most people with comparable accounts, let's say. So I think all of us can pretty much give an accurate representation of what a overall tier list would look like, what an arena tier list especially would look like, what a PvE tier list would look like. And I think we could give you guys a good rundown on that. Maybe not today, but definitely we could collab and make a video, and I'll post it sometime. I would definitely put Boreal as an S for that, and I would also a few others. I'm not going to spoil it. They're not as powerful as Boreal, but the function is what's important. They function as it, and that's what's important.
Just trying Kage match.
Yeah.
Last week.
You said last week should have an arena tier list. Well, we just can't fit in an arena tier list. Like, we need to get the tier list maker set up. We need to talk about all the units in the game. All the S units in the game. So that's quite a list. That's quite a list. Heck, I would even put Great Saber Cub. Like this week, Great Saber Cub would have fit on that list. Normally, no, because you have to choose between HP and agility, and that doesn't pass for the. For me, that doesn't pass the communism, the digital communism strategy, right? That doesn't cover all the bases of HP and agility. We don't want to take chances, and with Great Saber Cub, you're basically taking a chance at not having enough HP and dying to a hit, or not having enough agility and missing a hit. So this week, I would have considered him an S unit. Maybe not in following weeks. So the only other S units, other than the one that we already spoiled, will probably be A units only. I think we could all agree on that. But
what about B units?
I might even sneak Gremlin into there, but he doesn't do enough damage. That's the problem. But he has that. He has everything I'm looking for, right? The shape, the distance, the move. Like I would bring him over some. Like if it was weightless, I would still choose him over a great troll. Like if the game's like you can choose only demons, I would be like, do I choose great troll because it's weightless and it's demons? Do I choose great troll or do I choose gremlin? I would choose gremlin. That's how it's just having the consistent damage for 2 turns is good. Having the consistent.
I honestly think, and I might be a bit biased, but if we're making an overall tier list, I do think B, the Gremlin and the Ghost should score pretty high at the very least.
They're competing against S ranks is the point. Like that's Boreal's competing with S ranks. So if I'm making a tier list, I'm making it basically an S rank tier list.
Oh, okay. So it's not like an overall what's the best in its category, right?
No. Like if I'm counting Boreal, we can count him weight included or weight not included, both cases, and he still ranks pretty high. If we're counting Gremlin weight included, yeah, he's definitely top tier. If we're not counting weight included, then he doesn't make the list. He doesn't make the list probably, but Boreal makes the list either way, and that's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Throw Doritos like ninja stars. Good chip damage, huh?
Chip damage. I think he's trying to make a pun, like a joke about chip damage.
Yeah, mine is just mini DLTF, so I don't know. I have him as mini DLTF, and I have what's his name as mini Sorrow. My you guys know.
Your Sucker Cub?
No. Who else does bang damage and has Sorrow range with his Blast Fist?
Oh, Swan.
Yeah, I named him Mini Sorrow. Yeah, Celery didn't get the dad pun. Sag.
I feel like someone's chat is trying to say something, but I'm just not listening.
Okay, so what do you see as being top picks this week? I know there's no category really because there's no beast, there's no element. Like there will be next week. We'll have a Sizz week. More info on that. So I'm gonna say this now, even though it's not Sizz week. Start prepping your KSS. Start getting him prepped. I'm pretty sure you guys already have your halberds ready, but get your KSS ready as well because that's gonna make a difference. But what do you see as being top picks this week, and what do you see as being their counters? DKO as always. Okay, Metazoa. DKO is overall on paper. He has everything, right? Like he's a good unit. He's definitely a good unit. There's just There's units in every other category that are better for something else. I don't know. DKO you can't go wrong with DKO, so I can't blame you for having him. But I definitely wouldn't have pulled. I wouldn't have pulled for him. But like that's because I had other priorities, other units I wanted. Obviously, if I had like no holds barred, I could get whatever units I want. Then yeah, I would have DKO. Maybe I would use him some weeks, but. Okay, so what do you guys think are top picks? And then we could touch up on DKO again, just because I feel like Metazoa should. Oh, did he give a cap for this week, or did he not give a cap on Reddit because it was there's no there was no special enhancement for this week? He didn't make a post, right?
Yeah, Meta, where's the write up?
There's no write up. I think there was no write up. That makes sense. That's fair. But we like talking about the map. That's why we're here. So what do you guys think are the top picks? Since he didn't do a write up, he just said it. What do you think are the top picks? Even though there's no enhancement or anything, the map kind of gives you the key. The weight also gives the key. And what are their counters? What should we look out for?
I think for this week, top picks are Great Dragon, Metal Dragon, Dragon Lord True Form, and Halberd with the Gremlin support. I'm not biased here.
What about KSS?
I know, yeah, KSS is also really good here because it's important to note that he can also reach the back and do some crazy damage. Because not only can he reach the back, but he can move to the back. So he can reach the back, and then he can use his thing to go across the field. So that's actually crazy. KSS is super good this week. I don't know. What do we think about Prism Peacock? Is he just not that good?
He just doesn't reach.
Just a diehard fan?
He just doesn't reach. I mean, turn 2, he will be amazing, right? Turn 2, especially on this map, I think he'll be very good. But turn 1, he's gonna struggle reaching anyone, right? Like, I mean, I guess theoretically, if he's in the wing, he'll reach somebody, and maybe if they also have a person in the wing, he'll hit that person in the wing. Let's see how many tiles it is here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 tiles. He'll hit the person in the wing and the person behind them, and that's it. So theoretically, he could hit 2 people or nobody at all on turn 1. And then turn 2, he's going to wreak havoc. But, yeah, I would definitely bring Dragon Lord over him because I could potentially hit 3 people turn 1, right?
Yeah. And
then turn 2, maybe I could hit 5. I mean, they're not all going to line up in a straight line, but theoretically, right? So basically, yeah, if that makes sense.
I think also if your goal is to not have the enemy escape, Metazoa has a point. Marquis is a literal and hypothetical beast in this scenario. Because you don't even have to place him at the corner. You can place him somewhere in the middle. He's still going to move forward and reach people wherever they are. So Marquis gets a good mention there, I think, for this week.
Yeah. Marquis, Boreal, and Bloom Squid. Those powerful 7-range units. They open up a lot of your options because they allow you to hit that 1 block in on the back row to go alongside your Metal Dragon or your Great Dragon or Dragon Lord True Form Breath, so that you can hopefully take out a unit that otherwise would have lived, thereby reducing the damage you're facing on the counterattack.
It's kind of the
so
one of the things I liked about Marquis is he's a better hybrid right now. Typeless, 3-line hit. He's a better hybrid.
Yep. So yeah, that's for units to use this week. Those fan breaths and Metal Dragon, those type of attacks are great, and King She Slime as well are great. And then to go alongside those, the 7-range units provide some really great synergy compared to only bringing 6-range units. where you might not be able to finish off one of those backline units that gets hit with a breath that survives, especially.
What are the most useful equipment stats for this week? Agility or HP?
I've found in general you want to be running agility. You just need to make sure that you're basically, you run trop strategy. If you don't get hit, you can't get crit, and if you don't get hit, then HP is not that important. So my general plan has been to take out as much turn 1 as possible and try not to leave any threats up that anything that does get to act either can't kill, preferably even with a crit, or at least would need a crit to
Okay, and
kill.
what about like breath or martial potency? Would you still value agility over that? Because what's the point of having more damage if you can't outspeed your enemy? Well, I mean, the Dragon Claw does both, but like obviously some of us have like agility rolls with our breath, and some of us have pure breath.
Yep. As far as damage versus speed, I do matchup dependent. That changes for me based on the matchup. I try and predict what speed I'm going to be facing, and then depending on, so like if I'm going up against a Sorrow, I'll probably put Claws on my Dragon Lord True Form so I can outspeed Claws on Sorrow. But if I'm going up, if your target is like Mira and you're using Great Dragon, obviously there's absolutely no need to worry about speed. So you can kind of go based on the opposing unit speed tiers, who you need to outspeed, who you're expecting to one shot, and make your choices based on that. So that's really what I look at, and I change it up fairly often just based on I'll go HP or damage if I'm up against something markedly slower, and if it's a priority target and I'm worried about them having claws, I'll go full agility. And then if it's a fast target that I'm faster than, I probably will use HP or damage, because most people don't put claws on already fast units. You don't go up against a Marquise with claws. So that's my recommendation. Is you kind of have to use some prediction, and then also look at worst case scenarios with Sorrow. A lot of people with Sorrow, they don't put claws on him, and I end up way faster than I need to be. But when I do end up against one with claws, I really appreciate being able to act before him with my Dragon Lord True Form.
Fair enough. I think that covers it. I think that's all we need to know about this map and this week. What do you guys think? Predictions? Are we gonna get a lot of people crying about not being first? And no one's gonna get first this week, right?
Yeah, according to Starscream, yeah, no one's getting first this week, except for maybe the Arena Watch podcast.
How many people do you think would actually end up in first, though? This is one of the easier, like theoretically, like for people that have the proper team. This is one of those maps.
People have been getting better, and I guess more people watch the Arena Watch podcast, right? So naturally, they're getting better. They're not getting crit. They've become better looking ever since watching this podcast. That's all.
Some of them grew beards. Some of them shaved their beards and grew jaw lines.
But apart from that, I would say maybe 10. Like I'd say 9 or 10. Because think about it, this map has no barriers. So if you get lucky enough to get the kid menu buckets, it's a free week.
Has that happened for global yet, where we had a top 10 that was all first and there was no top 10? You're either first or you're top 50. Has that happened for global yet?
We literally had that 2 weeks ago, and I was one of the 10. And that was when Mystic won his first time and a few other people. But yeah, we literally had 10. Like you were either top 50 or first. That was pretty funny. That was the first time that happened.
Yeah,
So,
that could happen again this week is basically what you're saying.
yeah, my prediction is that could happen again this week. So the range of winners I think this week is going to be from 8 to 11, I'd say on the high end. 8 to 11 is going to be my sort of predicted range of perfect scores.
Yeah. I was going to say the exact same thing. I was expecting my prediction was a first place would be the entire top 10. It's if you get the easy buckets, there's very little that can really mess you up. At least on paper, there's very little that can really mess you up if you're going in properly prepared. So there's no.
So basically, if you're not getting first, don't feel bad about aiming for top 50, because
Yeah. Yep. Which I mean, on I think that same week that we had the top 10 that was all first place, top 50 was actually not terribly difficult. Like I think it was like minus 32 or something was top 50.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, strangely enough, even though there were a lot in first place, the competition below that was not terrible. Yep. Yeah, Metazoa got it. Don't get whale buckets. Don't get crit. Get first place.
Yeah, that's the game plan for this map.
Yeah. I think Metazoa must have missed part of the podcast. I know that he was there for a little bit of it, so maybe that's why he got crit this week. Should have stuck through for the whole. He only popped in, when we were reviewing his Reddit post, and then he disappeared probably.
Exactly. That's the true reason.
Yeah, you have to come here with a pure heart, no ulterior motives. This is like the Nimbus Cloud from Dragon Ball Z. We know, okay? You can't cast the Spirit Bomb unless if you have a pure heart here, and that's how the crits work. You have to come with a pure heart, and that's the note we're gonna end on for the Arena Watch podcast, guys.
He said I didn't even get crit.
No excuses.
No excuses. Tune in again, 2 p.m. PST, this same time, for about an hour. That's how long we'll go for. I think we'll have more to talk about next week. It is Sizz week. I didn't touch up on it, but I think after training, what was it? You don't know this guy, but Purplatypus? Have you guys heard of? No. Okay, I thought not.
He's a new guy in the community.
He is a new guy in the community. I've been saying this. I've been trying to get people to watch and subscribe to him. We have his link down below. But I was trying to coach him this week, and we did give good advice. But I saw how good KSS could be when I saw him using it. That was amazing. Yeah, the guy that plays the Bleach game, was it? Oh, Shin Megami Tensei, that one.
I think the guy that played. I know Tuki plays the Bleach game. I don't know if Purplatypus does as well.
Oh yeah, the MHA. He used to play the MHA. He dropped it. That was quite a long time ago, though. But other than that, yeah, maybe I could coach him again, because it seemed like my advice stuck. Like if all of it was followed, and I think after the first match, he kind of was like, okay, maybe I should listen a little bit here. But he doesn't want to spend a lot of time on matches, and I think that's a sentiment for a lot of people that are struggling in Arena, is they don't want to take the time with matches. I think you could actually save time if you do a practice match after the bots, let's say, and before doing your matches, because you kind of get the feel for it, and then you could just rush through everything. So yeah, that's kind of advice I would have to give after coaching Purplatypus. I'd like to do it again. It'd be fun.
Yeah, and honestly, just me personally, I don't understand that reason because you know I usually do my matches in like 10 to 15 minutes, all of them. I've kind of helped you speed up to the point where you do your matches in around the same time.
But I
Because
have
I
to slow
remember
down
when we
for the
first
commentary.
when we first met, you were doing like over an hour, right? But like you were slowing down big time. But I think now you're at a good pace. I think anyone can after they have a bit of practice, like you said, I think anyone can speed it up to the point where, it shouldn't be an issue. Time shouldn't be an issue for them. That's just what I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like I take too long on most matches. I definitely felt like I slowed down for my stream matches this week because that pressure to make sure I didn't make any lose any points right at the end.
Do we know when?
Even with
Do we know when Beast? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say even with my buckets being relatively easy, I was definitely like triple checking every movement, making sure I wasn't gonna take one step too far or push the enemy AI to run backwards just out of reach.
I was gonna ask
But
if you
no,
did you think that
absolutely.
we need to take more time with the matches, and you kind of answered that. But like this week, yeah, I was low weight, low CP teams. I mean, really low CP teams, and I was double checking because I was frustrated that like some units had the potential to crit me, right? That otherwise shouldn't have. Like bot teams had the chance to get a kill on my unit, and I was like, that's why I had such a terrible prognosis for this week. That's why I was like trying to go with the 200 IQ plays because I really I was really frustrated over that the fact that this week was that difficult. I couldn't have imagined any of us getting first, but here we are. But yeah, I would say also, do you guys know when the part 2 for Beast Fest is going to drop here?
I think in 4 or 5 hours.
Huh. Well, my computer screen's frozen, but everything's going, looks like still. I don't know how to click off of this now. How am I going to hit end stream? My whole screen's frozen, and yet we're talking.
No.
We're just going to stream forever.
I guess I would just have to close my computer, my laptop lid, and maybe that would stop the stream, or I'd have to hit power or something. We'll burn that bridge when we get there, or cross that bridge when we get there. Burn the bridge.
Yeah. That's so cool that Joshua was the guy above Starscream, which you weren't able to see because of that red spectrum the other day.
Dude, maybe we could get him to pitch in with us for doing funny memes. Yeah. Sure, we'd have one Szechuan in between us probably. If that guy's any good, he'll probably be there again next week. But hey, we could definitely give it a shot.
But I'm actually curious, did we ask him how he found us? Was it by any chance through the billboard? Because if even one person found us through the billboard, that would make me kind of happy.
Well, at the very least, people who know what the Arena Watch podcast would know what they were looking at.
Yeah.
And they would they would be reminded to tune in. So at the very least, people who were in the know were reminded, and I feel pretty good about that. So I don't think it's too big of an issue, but
it looks like we're dropping viewers, so the stream probably ended.
No, I'm seeing it. It looks like it's still up.
But I'm still seeing. Let's see.
We're frozen, but it's still up. But that's about as much as I can expect from this. So, well, when's the Beast Fest Part 2 coming out? And what else is coming out?
I think 4 hours.
4 hours,
yep,
so 7 o'clock?
That's what people are saying in chat. Yeah, Metazoa just typed he's still here. So, yeah, we're looking at new Beast Fest here in 4 hours. Vera is coming out, which is going to be, she's basically a typeless rough, and she's going to be a monster for a long time in Arena.
Honest.
Pairs excellently. Y'all are still.
Elena, right? Elena, all those other.
Yep.
So we'll probably
Elena,
get reminiscence with that then too.
Yeah, the DQ4 reminiscence with Elena, Kirill, and
Sorrow.
their blooms.
The Sorrow's Peak, was that? No.
Yep. Yeah, Sorrow's Peak.
Oh, so some
So,
people that missed the flail will finally be
yep.
able to
Yeah.
get the flail.
Any new players or any players that just didn't quite manage to get the flail the first time around. That's a huge pickup if you don't already have. And then I think there's a bunch of gold in the shop from Sarah's Peak.
Oh.
I don't know if the shop is still there with the. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is the orb and the gold in the Sorrow Peak shop.
I got the orb, but I regretted it because it just took too much time. At the time, it took way too much time. And looking back at it now, I never ended up using all the orbs. I never ran out of orbs. So I could have probably, you know, I could have probably just done this one in Reminiscence and saved myself like I don't know how many hours, and I would have just worked on those hours because I could work as many hours as I like, and I would have bought myself the orb and had money left over basically. Obviously, don't do that, but like definitely if something's too hard, don't worry about it. Like Reminiscence, it'll come back. So it's like I'm over the whole getting the icon day one thing, first time for the event thing. So yeah, I would say just do it whenever. Save yourself some time. Like if something's crazy, what's the point? It's gonna come back, and it's like you're probably never gonna run out of orbs. The thing you're running out of is irises more than not, and gold.
Versus gold.
Yeah. Looks like the other materials aren't that hard. They tend to be in most shops now for events, so that's good. So we got Elena, we got the Beast Fest. We also will probably have Minikube. He's my JP Scout moderator on the DQT Guides Hub. He'll probably put up Beast Fest Part 2, as well as the Battle Roads and whatnot. And yeah, you could probably check it out there. Honestly, I don't see him on any of the other pages doing anything else. And like all the other Discords, I don't see him anywhere else talking or doing anything else but posting. So I feel like the guy literally made an account just to be able to post all the JP stuff, which I really appreciate. So shout out to him. I really appreciate that dude. He probably doesn't even tune into this, to be honest. I know nothing about this guy. He's just a random guy moderating everything now. But he'll probably have that up a lot sooner than I used to. I mean, I used to have things up before the events would come up and live, but then I got swamped, man, and then I just couldn't even do them after they were live for like weeks afterwards. So I'm glad he's here. So we'll have everything up. Check out the DQT Guides Hub if you haven't already. Go ahead and click the link down below. It'll take you to that. Anyways, guys, this has been the pack, and if you want to join the pack with the pack, then go ahead and subscribe down below. If you like this video, then like this video. If you have something to say, write it down in the comments down below. And if you want to support arena content, go ahead and hit share. And if you want to see more content, go ahead and hit that bell icon for notifications. This ain't Twitch. Join Kage's gaming Discord server for all the best underground DQT conversations, and join my server for all the best DQT guides. Anyways, guys, this has been the Trops, the three wise men, and signing out.
You join the Trop with Trop.
Peace. I'm going to close my laptop lid and see if that does the trick. If not, I'm hitting the power button. So, peace, guys.
Peace.
Are we still going? We still going, aren't we? That's the Discord.
I don't know if we're live.
We're still live.
Did you download Halo yet, by the way? We're still waiting on you.
We're still live.
Oh, okay, I guess we can discuss the Halo after.
I'm gonna have to hit the power button. I haven't downloaded Halo yet. It's free to play, right?